Overground Q train, next stop 57th Street, 7th Avenue, step in, St. Louis. This is Times Square, 42nd, transmit for the AEC and R1237 and shuttle to Grand Central.
możecie zostawić Wam jacht.